She said she was fine, but you felt the storm behind her smile. She said it didn't matter, but you knew it did. And when she walked away, you were left wondering, did I misunderstand her? Or was she never saying what she really meant in the first place? There's a quiet ache that lives in every man who's tried to understand a woman with logic, tried to decode her words like math, and came back empty-handed. It's not that she lied. No, it's that she spoke in a language you were never taught, and the more you tried to understand her, the more lost you felt in the forest of her contradictions. What if this isn't your fault? What if Schopenhauer saw it coming all along? And what if women don't mean what they say? Not out of malice, but out of something far deeper, older, and more human than you ever imagined. You've been there, listening to her say, "It's okay, really." While everything in your gut screamed otherwise, you replay the conversation 100 times in your head. What did she mean by that tone, that look, that pause? You text. She replies with, "Do whatever you want." And now, you don't know if that's permission or a trap. She tells you, "I'm not mad." But the silence is louder than thunder. You're not stupid. You're not unkind. You just want clarity. You want to understand. You want to be seen. But all you feel is misunderstood. And deep down, a darker thought creeps in. Maybe women don't really mean what they say at all. Arthur Schopenhauer, often called the philosopher of pessimism, once wrote, "The conversation of women is never to be taken at face value. They speak through implication, through tone, and through the poetry of emotion, not the rigidity of truth." At first glance, it sounds misogynistic, but slow down. Look deeper. This wasn't hatred. It was disillusionment. Schopenhauer didn't believe women were evil. He believed they were elemental, like wind, like rain, like music. They don't express themselves the way men do. Not because they're deceptive, but because they're emotional linguists. And most men? They've been trained to listen with the ears of logic, not with the intuition of the heart. Psychology backs this. Studies show women are far more likely to use indirect speech, suggestion, and implication, not to confuse, but to test emotional depth, to connect on feeling, not facts. It's not that she doesn't mean what she says, it's that what she means lives beneath what she says. Here's what Schopenhauer didn't say out loud, but it echoes beneath every one of his writings. Men lie with facts. Women lie with feelings, not out of malice, but because each gender evolved to survive with different weapons. For men, words are tools. For women, words are masks, mirrors, maps to the soul. You see, for centuries, women had no political power, no physical power, so they mastered the art of emotional strategy, not to deceive, but to navigate a world where being direct often meant being dismissed. So she says, "I'm fine," not because she is, but because she wants you to care enough to ask again. She says, "It doesn't matter," because she wants to see if she matters to you. She speaks in layers, because that's where she's been forced to live. And you, my friend, have been trying to decode a poem with a calculator. If this already feels like it's untying knots in your chest, if you've ever wrestled with this confusion and finally feel like someone's naming the invisible pain, then this space was made for you. We explore the places no one talks about, the unspoken emotions, the shadows behind the words. So take a moment, like this video. Subscribe if your soul is hungry for deeper truths. Leave a comment if you've ever felt lost in a conversation you thought you understood. We're not just decoding women. we're remembering how to feel again. Here's a shift that will change everything. Don't listen to her words. Listen to her tension. Don't ask, what did she say? Ask, what did her silence feel like? Watch her eyes when she says, go have fun. Do they light up or dim down? When she says, you don't have to. Listen to whether her breath trembles when she says it. Treat her communication like jazz. It's not in the notes. It's in the pauses between them. Try it tonight. Next time she says she's okay, look her in the eye, gently take her hand, and say, I hear your words, but I want to feel your truth. And then watch how her armor softens. You don't need to understand everything she says. You need to understand why she says it. That shift alone will set you apart from every man she's ever met. You've been told that clarity is king, that directness is respect, that truth is found in plain words, but in love. Truth hides in emotion. Clarity lives in patience, and understanding comes from silence. Schopenhauer didn't hate women. He feared the parts of them he couldn't dominate with reason, because emotion is powerful, and power that doesn't obey logic feels like chaos to the logical mind. But to the soul, that chaos is music. The storm in her words is a mirror, showing you the storm you've hidden in yourself. Because you do it too, don't you? You say, I'm good, when your world is crumbling. You say, don't worry about it, when all you want is to be held. You say, I'm fine, because you're terrified to say, I'm hurting. Maybe women don't mean what they say, because none of us do. Not when we're scared, not when we're vulnerable, not when we're in love. We speak in riddles when we fear being real. And sometimes, the truest thing a person can say is hidden in what they can't say. So what do? We listen with more than ears. We respond with more than logic. We love with more than words. The next time she says something that doesn't make sense, don't rush to fix it. Don't correct. Don't analyze. Just be still. Let her be messy, mysterious, moody, because behind the fog of her contradiction is a heart that's been punished for speaking plainly. And your job is not to solve her, but to see her. Women don't mean what they say, because they've had to survive by meaning what they feel. And if you can learn to listen to that, you'll never need to guess again. She doesn't need a man who understands every word. She needs one who feels the meaning beneath them. And maybe, so do you. If this stirred something in you, if it made you think, feel, or remember, then stay with us. This channel isn't about quick hacks or shallow answers. It's about coming home to yourself and learning to love others in the process. Like, comment, subscribe, not just to support the channel, but to support yourself on the path to deeper understanding, richer love, and timeless wisdom. We're here for the ones who listen with their souls. And if that's you, we'll see you in the next one. Stay human, stay awake,